Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Stephen A. Smith was on ABC News Live Prime, and he discussed the accusations of black women who says that he regularly throws them under the bus. Stephen said, hey man, is calling the president a piece of shit going to help your constituency? He was speaking in regards to Jasmine Crockett. That was just one thing he said. He also talked about Joy Reid and her 47% drop in viewership and the reason why she was fired, as the reason why she was fired, not because she was black or being discriminated against. But at the same time, he did say that in this country, in this culture that we're in, what do you expect if you're black and you're going to lose 47% of your audience? You can expect that. Okay, let's say that was true, which it probably is, right? It ain't what you say, it's how you say it. And very important, when you say it, where you say it. That's important also. It's just like the other Steve Harvey. When Steve Harvey had that conversation with Monique, remember that? When he told Monique, when Monique was complaining about being underpaid, grossly underpaid in Hollywood, Steve Harvey brought her on his show and grilled her and told her in front of the world, we's black. We can't be doing that. We can't talk like that. We black. Basically, we black. We got to take it. Take whatever they give us. Don't make no waves because we black. This is what black people have been hearing our entire existence in this country. And I'm going to tell you something. It don't matter how conformative you are. It does not matter how obedient you are. Doesn't matter how you try to assimilate. They're always going to have in their head that you deserve less. And they are always going to hold you to a higher standard. So you just got to do you. And if they rock with you, they rock with you. If they don't, they don't. Come. Take your talents to South Beach. It's as simple as that. Create your own. See, we got to get used to that. We got to get used to saying, you know what? This ain't even for me. I'm going to stand for the next generation that comes after me. I'm going to stand. You know what? I'm not going to let him get away with talking to me like that. I'm not going to let him get away with putting his hands on me or her do this because they've probably been doing this their entire life and getting away with it. The buck stops here. You did. Stephen A. Smith, there is no doubt about it. He is a stepping fidget, house Sambo. They call him Uncle Tom, but he's not an Uncle Tom. If you know the history of Uncle Tom, you know. He's a Sambo. He's absolutely a Sambo because he danced to the tune of Massa's beat. Let me tell you something, fam. This is how you know Stephen A. is a Sambo. Forget all the semantics. Forget all of the insults, the debates, forget all of that stuff, fam. Forget what he said, they said, everybody said, right? Just listen for the consistency in his message and his statements. When Stephen A. Smith talks, when he's critical of anyone, he's typically more critical of black people. Oh man, he's a badass boy when it comes to black folks. Because I said it, I'm not scared of you. And I've yet to hear him say he's not afraid of a prominent white person. Haven't heard him say that yet. Maybe he has, but I haven't heard him say it. He consistently calls out prominent black people and their flaws. But when's the last time you heard him do that towards white people? When he says something about a white person, he might say, and I disagree with that, and I don't like the way he did that, and I don't, but such, he is the president of the United States of America. He deserves respect. If we're not going to respect him, who's going to respect him? You know what I'm saying? So he'll say a little something that's truthful, that everybody can agree with, and then he go on to drop that ignorant rhetoric that he talks all the time. For example, Stephen A. was lamenting about how Democrats have a double standard in regards to ICE and deportation. He said this on his podcast. If you're complaining about Trump and his administration doing it now, how come you didn't complain when Obama did it and deported more people than Trump deported in his first term? You got to answer that question. Okay, Stevie, I'll give it a shot. How about it ain't what you say is how you say it? It ain't what you do is how you do it. First and foremost, Obama didn't have mass goon squads running up into people's homes, snatching them out of schools and snatching them off their jobs and beating them up and shooting them and killing them. And he also didn't watch a video of a woman being killed with his own eyes and call the woman a protester, an agitator, and terrorist. That's the difference. That's why they wasn't tripping on Obama behaving the way he was behaving. He did what he did with some type of, I don't know, humanity. I 1000% agree with Joy Reid when she said he gets paid to say things that his bosses want to say about black people. That's why he's in the position he's in. Because they pay him to say the things they can't say. Or they could say, but it would cost them some type of monetary equity. It would cost them. So they get the Chuck and Java to say it for them. They get Stephen A. Smith. See, that 100 million, he got to work that off. He just don't get to ride off into the sunset with that 100 million. He got to prove every day why he deserved that 100 million and why they gave it to him. They gave him that 100 million because he has a loud voice, a lot of influence on black ears, right? And so when people hear him talk, they listen. And he gets to kind of reshape the narrative in whatever way Massa say. If Massa say, look, this is the direction we're going, I'll bet you $1 to a donut that when there's serious topics going on that they need to make sure that their message get across with, I can guarantee you that they go to Steve and say, hey, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do on this here? Well, how you feel about that? And then if it don't sound too right, they give them a little nudge and say, yeah, I was just thinking that too. Yeah. Well, make sure you, but they probably don't have to do any of that. They just got to just check his temperature when he walk in. So check this out. When I first got into radio back in the mid-90s, I had a show called Willie D's Reality Check. When I first started working at the station, they thought, well, before I started working at the station, they thought I was just gonna come on that show and just, do the rap thing, have my rap friends to come on the show, play my music, and, party and bullshit, on the radio. They thought I was gonna do that. And to be transparent with you, I was going to do that. But I reconsidered and decided to go in a different direction. I was like, you know what? They know that side of me already. They know the hip hop side already. They don't know me as a community activist. They do not know me as a father. They don't know me as a husband. They don't know me as a brother. They don't know me as a loyal friend. Let me give them that. I'm going to show them that. So every Monday, people would barbecue in Houston on Monday nights and listen to Reality Check. The show was that big. I had a 15% share of the market. Anybody know numbers? You know that 15% of a major market is big. That's 15% of everybody listening, dialed into radio in Houston, listening to Willie D's Reality Check. Had it on lock. I would come into the office and the program director, white dude, cool white dude, you know, Robert Scarpio was his name. And every Monday I would come in and I'd have to pass by his office to go to the studio. And as I would pass by his office, you know, they had the clear glass so he could see me coming through. And he would stop me while I would, you know, duck my head into his office and, and he'd go, "Hey, so what are you doing today?" So one day I said, "Yeah, man, I'm finna talk about how these white folks be getting over on black folks." And he was like, "Oh, okay, well have a good show." The point is, they always want to know what you're up to. Like, they want to know when you're talking about serious stuff, political stuff, they want to know what you're going to be talking about. They want to know. Now, I had a little more wiggle room. It was like, because for me, I was like, I'm going to do my way or I'm not going to do it at all. So they allowed me that latitude to do the show the way I wanted to do it. But you better believe me, they were concerned about what I was saying on those airwaves to over 1 million people every Monday night. Well, wasn't quite 1 million people, but it was definitely hundreds of thousands of people every single Monday night. So Stephen A. Smith, he ain't no Willie D. He ain't got that type of voice. He ain't got that type of conviction. He is the type of dude that go along to get along. Just like Kwame Brown said, he go along to get along. He will throw his people under the bus for a check. He said it himself. He said, every day I wake up, I try to make my boss some money. And then I try to see how much I can get for myself. What man thinks like that? I don't give a damn who you are. I ain't never gonna like money that much. Well, my first thought is how I'm gonna make my boss some money. You dig? No, I'm gonna be thinking how I'm gonna make some money. Now, and subsequently, my boss makes money. But I'm gonna be thinking how I can make some money for myself and my family first. I'm not gonna be thinking about how I can enrich my boss, my already rich boss. So, Stephen A. Smith, you can talk all slick all you want to. You can use every damn word in Webster's and all those other dictionaries all you want. It ain't gonna make no difference. We see through you. We know exactly who you are. You ain't fooling nobody. You are a sellout. You are a Sambo. And if you want to prove me wrong, all you gotta do is start being critical of white folks. When they do effed up stuff, call them out consistently. Yeah, get at them like you get at your own people. And then, perhaps, I might afford you some grace. Until then, watching you. No more talk.